Welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast. I'll be your host this evening, Ed Montana. Alongside me today, the Hiccup Man. My brother Alex. Alex, how you doing?
I'm exhausted.
Exhausted from what?
Exhausted.
It is late. It's about 7 o'clock. We're doing this podcast. It's late.
Yeah. My HPMs are real high this evening.
HPM? What the hell are HPM?
My hiccups per minute. Dude, I'm telling you, I left work like at 5. That was about 2 hours ago. And I've been hiccuping. I've been having the hiccups for about an hour and a half.
I think it's hiccuping.
Hiccuping? I never had to use that word.
It's hard to say, but I think that's the right word.
Yeah, so...
For all of you English majors out there, go ahead and let us know if it's hiccuping or having the hiccups is the right word.
I think it's having the hiccups, but I'm no English major, so
that's
what do I know?
That's for damn sure.
It's been a fucking crazy week in sports. We've had sign stealing gate. We've had ass slapping gate.
Ass slapping?
Yeah. Tristan Thompson on the free throw line slapped Jay Crowder's ass and got a technical. Odell Beckham slapping you got slapped in the ass too?
No, that's like a Me Too thing, right?
That's right.
Odell people in the ass.
Smacking the officer or whatever he was. Still, someone in security or authority slapped their asses and handed out fake or real money. I have no idea, nor do I care, but I'm just saying. Right, and then you had the AFC and NFC championship game. It's just been a real, and just the scandal. Obviously, it's
scandal. We did that podcast in the middle of the week. Which, by the way, if y'all want a comprehensive breakdown of the Astros scandal and the Red Sox role in it, heck, we even touched on Carlos Beltran and the Mets situation. If you guys want to hear some nitty gritty details about that, you're really into that stuff. Check out our last podcast, podcast 110. It was middle of last week. It was excellent. I thought it was excellent. I mean, we talked about it ad nauseum. It was good. But that really, I was kind of glad that the weekend came and we had good football games to get our minds off of that stuff. Because that last week, that was all consuming.
The Astros are not very well liked right now, because even though
they're the most hated team in the country.
Yeah, I mean they've all of a sudden become the evil empire,
right?
The villain. Because although we did have the distraction of the AFC and NFC championship game, they still kind of snuck in there and made a couple comments, right? Bregman and Altuve and Altuve.
What did they say? I didn't see what Bregman said.
I mean, basically, it sounded very scripted, which I'm not surprised by that. Bregman pretty much, kept saying that, MLB did their investigation and always referred to the team as the Astros, not us. Which I find that a little interesting. And I find it interesting that Altuve said, everything at the end will be fine and, we're going to be in the World Series again. And I mean, so I guess he plans on cheating again. I don't know, but
it's crazy.
It's this scandal is really, it's just the legs have grown on it and it's just taken off.
It's still running
and it's going to be for a while.
Obviously, we've got a situation now where we've got 3 teams looking for a new manager, and it's January 20th.
Yeah.
I mean, we're what 15 days?
Yeah,
15 days away from pitchers and catchers reporting to spring training, and you don't have a manager.
That's right.
For those of you out there that would like to support my campaign to manage any one of those teams, please go ahead and hit the Mets, the Red Sox, and the Astros. Let them know that @eMontana21 is very interested in their job.
Did you put your resume in?
Yes, I did. I sent them all on my resume. I haven't gotten a rejection letter yet, so I think I'm in the running.
So you have a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. That's right. And don't worry, bro. If I make it, you can be my bench coach.
Oh, sweet.
Just please don't steal any signs.
No, we won't steal any signs. The memes have been great, by the way.
Oh, the memes are hilarious.
So, but it's
that thing is just. And you know what? I hate to say this, and it's unfortunate for baseball, but this will be a topic of conversation all year long. It's going to take a full year for this to cycle out. I'll tell you why. One, the Astros' performance, so to speak, right, will be scrutinized to the nth degree. If they have a good day, they're cheating again.
Right.
If they have a bad day, that cheating helped them win the World Series. And if they have to play, when they have to play the Yankees, it's going to be huge because Yankee players have come out and said that they feel like they've been robbed of a couple of World Series appearances.
Or an MVP.
Or an MVP in the case of Aaron Judge. Division game on the road is going to be hell for them. And don't forget, the Red Sox, the Red Sox are a big organization, a big media market. They're going to, if they start doing well with a new manager, they start poorly. The Mets are another big organization that,
Well,
it's going to be crazy.
Not only when they go on the road, but at home too. The Athletics travel well here at Minute Maid. The Yankees will travel well. The Mets come here for a 2-game set in April, so I would expect to see plenty of Met fans as I have in the past. If they have to play the Cardinals travel well here.
Well, if they're playing the Mets, they won't have to play the Cardinals.
Okay,
because they'll play the AL. They'll play the NL East.
Oh, okay.
So it's the AL West versus the NL East this year.
Okay, gotcha. But so they
But if the Phillies have to come down here.
Yeah.
They don't travel well, but the 2 or 3 Philly fans that are here, they'll go nuts.
Yeah. So.
I was down by Minute Maid Park yesterday.
Right. We were.
Yeah, I was running the marathon yesterday. Starts right down the street from Minute Maid Park. You know what I noticed when I walked around Minute Maid Park?
No banners.
Outside?
Trash cans.
Not one trash can in the street. Where are all those trash cans?
What, do they expect people to litter?
I guess so, but I didn't see one trash can. They must all be inside Minute Maid Park.
That or somebody stole the trash cans, and now I wonder if the
MLB came down and said no more trash cans for you.
I'm curious to check the stock market on Rubbermaid trash cans. I wonder if that's gone up in the past few days, right?
Oh God, no, we're not gonna stop talking about this. It's crazy. Let's get on to some good stuff, man. So we had the conference championship weekend this weekend in the NFL. The first game was Tennessee at Kansas City. The second game was Green Bay at San Francisco to determine who would go on to play Super Bowl, whatever this is, 54, whatever. Yeah, 54. Super Bowl 54. Who's going to play in Super Bowl 54? We got our answers in Miami. We got our answers yesterday.
Is it Miami or Miami?
It's Miami.
Miami?
You can say it however you want. It's a proper name. You can pronounce it however you want.
I'm just asking. I'm an English major.
Whatever floats your boat, man. So let's start with the
AFC? Since that was the first game?
Let's go in chronological order.
That's right.
Let's see.
Did you enjoy these? I guess we don't. Did you enjoy these games?
I'm biased because I enjoy just about any game that has a lot riding on it.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's a Little League game, but it's for the Little League Championship,
right?
I enjoy it, right? Because I know that both teams are really vested in it and really want to do well. And then you see how they handle the pressure and what they do in big situations, yada 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 yada.
Right.
So I enjoy it for that reason. Did you not enjoy them?
No, I did not enjoy them. Even when Tennessee got out to a fast start, right? They were up 10-0.
Mm-hmm.
I went over Dad's house to watch, and I'm like, I just don't. And I was even texting you and Jay, and I'm like, I just don't see the Titans winning this game.
It really felt like, you're right. Even when they were ahead, it didn't feel like they were going to win, and I'm not quite sure why.
And I don't know if it was because the week before we saw how the Chiefs came back from 21-0. Tennessee played well in the first half, and they were squeezing Pat Mahomes out of the pocket, and he wasn't doing that much, but they were forcing him out of the pocket. But I just didn't see, and they had dropped passes again, the Chiefs. Early.
It's the same thing last week against the Texans. It's weird.
But I guess the Chiefs being able to hold Derrick Henry to 70 yards was the main focus, right? And then just have... Their offense is just too damn good. You pretty much have to try to keep up with them.
You know what I find incredible about Pat Mahomes is it doesn't, and I think this bodes well for the Super Bowl. It really doesn't matter how much pressure you get on him. He slides around in that pocket, gets out of the pocket, and throws the ball away. He never seems to try to do too much with it, even when he runs. And then all of a sudden, you think, oh, he's just going to get a few yards and step out of bounds. He does what he did to Tennessee right before the end of the half, which I think, at least in my opinion, was what really turned that game around.
Yeah, I mean, the Titans must have thought what I thought on that play, because I thought he was going out of bounds.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he just it looked like he was moonwalking down the sideline. And, I mean, I think they just...
Yeah,
the Titans just gave up a little bit, too. I mean...
I don't know if they gave up.
Because when you get down in football, right? Well, I mean, what do? You stop running and you start throwing. And I think they realize, okay, Tannehill is Tannehill. You know, he's had a great run. The Titans overall as a team has had a great run during the regular season and postseason. But I mean, the difference is, you know.
Well, yeah. You may have looked at it like they were giving up, but the fact of the matter is that Tannehill's not that kind of quarterback. He's not their formula in this streak and their formula through the playoffs has been Henry, and let's play good defense, and
don't turn the ball over.
And don't turn the ball over. And so Tannehill's not really a part of that plan. And when you fall behind, even when they were far behind, right, which they weren't really far behind, but once it was more than one score, they still didn't throw the ball. They continued to run it. And look, I mean, that's just the limitation of that team, and maybe that's why it really felt like even when they were ahead, it felt like, you know, Kansas City is going to blow this open whenever they want, and that's what we got.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, though, does not look like a third-year quarterback. I mean, he looks as veteran as Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Drew Brees. I mean, he just doesn't make mistakes with the football. He just seems so dialed into that offense. And he has, to be fair, he does have a lot of weapons, right? I mean, Kelsey bails him out left and right, it seems like. He's got the wide receivers with Sammy Watkins and Tyreek Hill. I mean, it's just, he's got...
Well, the thing is...
He's got weapons to help him.
He's got weapons. They're fast weapons. Like Mecole Hardman. That guy is fast. Tyreek Hill is fast. Like,
here's the thing, right? When you say fast, Sammy Watkins is the slow guy out of those three. And Sammy Watkins is fast.
Yeah.
You know, but he's not blazing fast like Tyreek Hill. But it's crazy that we think of that guy as the slow guy on that team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the other two are ridiculous. And Kelsey, I mean, that guy, he always finds a soft spot in the defense, catches the ball, turns around, gets another 5 yards. It just... They've got so many weapons on offense. The offensive line is playing well.
Yeah.
It's just, they are a tough road to hoe, I think. And, you know, if Andy Reid doesn't overthink it, I think, against San Francisco, they've got a really good shot.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, obviously, they're in the Super Bowl for a reason.
Yeah, they both got a shot. I mean, but I was a little disappointed. I expected a little closer game towards the end, you know. I felt like the game was over midway through the third quarter, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
And so
I agree.
AFC, you know, championship game like that, you kind of want a nail biter, you know. But it was a good game. I mean, Tennessee, props to them, because I mean, nobody thought that they would make it this far. Nobody probably thought they would make the playoffs, and they just, you know, they stuck to their bread and butter, right? Which, like you mentioned, was running the ball, not turning the ball over, and defense, right? So, props to them, Mike Vrabel, and, you know.
Yeah, remember about week 13 or so, we were talking about, looks like there's 3 teams for 2 spots.
Yeah.
And we were talking Buffalo, Pittsburgh, and Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I don't think either one of us said Tennessee.
Yeah.
You know, I think we all said Buffalo's going to get in, and probably Pittsburgh, or I think you even mentioned Oakland, who had a good stretch. Right. So, yeah, they really, you know, for those people that don't think a 16-game season is long enough, I mean, look at Tennessee's season.
Yeah.
I mean, They just kept grinding and grinding and grinding. It was a long season, and finally they came out on top in terms of getting into the playoffs over other teams, and then the playoffs continued that. And really, you're right, hats off to them. They really had a fantastic season. I'm excited to see what they do going forward.
That's what I was about to ask you, right? Tannehill or Henry? Which one do they keep, or do they sign both?
You keep Henry come hell or high water. Although, to be fair, and I'm gonna get a bunch of hate from people that like running backs. I feel like that might be the kind of system where you could put any running back there, and maybe not win the rushing title like Henry did,
right.
But you can have a very, very solid running game with another running back,
right?
Because that offensive line is for real.
Yeah,
I mean that offensive line is really good. So, and if I had it my way, I would spend my money on Henry. Because he's an elite running back, whereas Tannehill's not an elite quarterback.
Do you know how much the Dolphins paid Tannehill this year?
How much?
Like 18.3. You know how much the Titans had to pay Tannehill this year?
1.83.
Yeah, something like that. It's like ridiculously like.
What a deal! What a deal!
Dolphins being the Dolphins.
Well, maybe the Titans will re-sign him.
Right.
We'll just ask Miami to pay for it.
Hey guys, since you did the solid this year.
Hey, you guys want to sign up for one more deal of paying for Tannehill while we use him? Wouldn't that be something?
They'd probably be dumb enough to do it.
Oh, yeah. Miami's not, breaking the sound barrier when it comes to personnel moves.
So, over to the NFC.
Yes, sir.
Where I was disappointed with this game, too. And this
one was over at halftime.
Maybe even before. Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, the Packers were just not prepared. The 49ers are the better team, but the Packers were not prepared. I mean, to have Garoppolo throw only 8 times, and you have props to this running back, Mostert, whatever the hell his name is. Mustard, Custard, whatever.
Mostert.
Look, 220 yards in any game and 4 touchdowns is impressive.
Very.
Okay, but I'm not completely sold on the guy. Because exactly what you just said about having any running back put on the Titans, you could say the same for the 49ers. And I worry that they only threw 8 times.
See, I disagree with you. I don't think their offensive line is as good as the Tennessee offensive line.
The 49ers?
Yeah. I think. I don't know.
Because they're built inside out.
Right. No,
on both ends.
I agree. But I don't want to take anything away from the Niners. That was an exceptional performance. They played a great game. But I think the Tennessee offensive line is elite. Top 2 or 3 offensive lines in the league. The San Francisco offensive line is good. And they just caught a Packers team that was either not prepared or their defensive line is just not that good.
Yeah,
because
it might be a little bit of both.
Yeah, so that's why I don't give the Niners as much credit as I don't put them in the same category with Tennessee. Not quite yet. But, yeah, I thought they manhandled the hell out of Green Bay, which I never thought I'd see. But, Green Bay looked... it looked like a pro team against a college team or a pro team against a high school team.
Yeah, it looked pretty bad.
They were gashing them for 6, 7, 10 yards every single time. It seemed like it was crazy. You're right. They only threw the ball 8 times. If they had to throw the ball more, they probably would have put 50 on them.
Have they not seen what the 49ers did last week? They ran the ball like 8 straight times down the Vikings' throat, and on one drive, 8 straight times. That's been their bread and butter.
Yeah.
Well, how do you not prepare for that, right? Don't let those 20 points that they scored fool you either, because those came garbage time points. Mm-hmm. So, they pretty much held them single digits, They just dominated that game.
They absolutely dominated. And on defense, look, we've been talking about the San Francisco defense all year long. And they did a great job again today. There was nothing Aaron Rodgers can do. And to be fair, Aaron Rodgers seemed a little off. There were passes that were not quite there. He threw behind a couple guys. He just wasn't vintage Aaron Rodgers. But I don't blame him for that. I blame the San Francisco defense. I think the San Francisco defense got in his face, got to him a lot. He spent a lot of time on his backside, and they just that secondary is something else. It's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough.
They're fast too. They're fast on defense. Mm-hmm. So that matchup, right, a fast defense against a fast offense.
That's gonna be fun.
I'm a firm believer in. Defense wins championships, right? So if that's my logic, then I'm gonna,
you're gonna pick San Francisco.
Then would I pick San Francisco? I don't know, right?
What's funny is the game in a couple of weeks when Kansas City has the ball, the game is going to be a lot more entertaining,
right?
Than when San Francisco has the ball. Yeah. I mean, you got to have both, right? But the part that people are really going to want to focus on or really want to watch is Pat Mahomes and all those weapons against that San Francisco defense.
I wonder if that will hurt ratings.
I don't think.
Maybe not, but people won't be tuned in as hard, right? Deep into the game when the 49ers have the ball. Because, listen, if you're at a Super Bowl party...
people aren't going to turn away from the game.
No, they're not going to turn away from the game.
So it's not going to hurt
ratings. But it's not going to hurt... You're right, it's not going to hurt the ratings, but people won't watch... you're at a Super Bowl party, you're drinking, you got food, you're mingling with friends, right? You're right, when Mahomes gets the ball and the Chiefs have the ball on offense, everybody's going to be quiet and watch, right? But when the 49ers have the ball, then that's when people will take time. And
well, all the women will watch when the Niners have the ball because they'll all be looking at Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, but he's only going to throw the ball 8 times. So,
that's okay, but they'll see him. They'll see him on every single snap. Yeah. They'll show him on every snap. Is that the best looking dude in the NFL?
Probably.
Jesus Christ, he looks like a freaking model. I've seen him, right, however many times, but for some reason I really noticed it during the game yesterday. I was like,
he's got a banging girlfriend.
Does he really?
Dude, besides her job, she's pretty hot.
I'll tell you right now, if we get 2 weeks of Patrick Mahomes' girlfriend. Not only will I root for the 49ers, I will root for Satan himself before I'll root for the Chiefs. That chick is annoying as hell. All she does is, have you seen her post on Twitter?
Yeah, I've seen the post, but what?
All she does is scream.
Oh, that's all she did?
No, I can't.
Just hit mute.
Yeah, you don't usually listen to the game anyway. Well, depends. If you go to a big enough party, you don't really listen to the game.
Yeah, I like to listen to the game.
I do too. I'm not a huge fan of the big Super Bowl party because I like to actually watch the game and I watch all the commercials.
I don't care if I'm at a big Super Bowl party. I'll just tune everybody out and be on my own time.
No, you won't because
if I'm not hosting, if I'm going to someone, I don't.
You come over here and see how much of the game you watch. I'll nag you to death.
Nah, I'll watch.
I'll give you a hard time. I'll be jumping on you, high fiving you when nothing's going on. What the hell are you high fiving me for? I don't know. But did you see that play? No, I missed it.
Nah, I'll watch most of it.
Oh well, we got it. The Super Bowl's not this week; it's next week. So we'll leave our predictions for next week.
I'm ready to put a prediction now, man. I already know who's gonna win.
We'll do our predictions next week because I know you're going to change your mind 5 times before that.
No, I'm not. I'm set in stone, man. I got a bold one, too.
Yeah, okay. We'll wait till next week and we will do our Super Bowl prediction.
Oh, that sucks.
Next week.
Why? Why do we got to wait?
Because it's closer to the game.
That sucks.
You want to do it now so that when you're wrong, you don't catch any heat for it because everyone's going to forget.
Oh, no, Hey,
go back to our picks and see who we picked to be in the Super Bowl.
You picked the Saints and the Chiefs. I picked the Eagles and the Chiefs.
We both picked the Chiefs?
Yeah.
Damn, we're good.
Yeah, we got.
Did either one of us pick them to win?
Yeah, both of us.
We picked them to win?
Or did you pick New Orleans?
I may have picked New Orleans.
You suck.
If I did, go Niners.
You sure did pick the Saints.
You picked the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Did you put a bet in on that?
Nah.
You should have.
And by the way, I know I didn't make a prediction last week, but it was the Packers and the Chiefs. As much shit as I've given the Packers all year long.
Oh, I knew you weren't going to pick them.
No, I thought they would. I thought they would at least make it a game, and so I figured, you know what?
Was it you that sent that text between us between us and Jay about the Packers secondary is pretty good.
Yeah, it was. They held Jimmy G to 8 passes, bro.
I saw that and I was about to respond, and then I got to doing something else. I was like, yeah. Their secondary doesn't matter because the Niners are running the ball like there's no tomorrow.
Points against them, bro. My analysis was spot on. Okay.
Well, good for them. What do they do going forward?
Who's that? The Packers.
The Packers.
Matt LaFleur and A-Rod need to get on the same page and find a way to coexist. I think.
You don't think that partnership's working?
I mean, we thought it was working with Mike McCarthy and kind of
did, right? Didn't they go to a Super Bowl?
Yeah, it did, but did it really? Because after that,
you go to a Super Bowl, I think it did.
Right, no, but after they went to the Super Bowl, they weren't too successful as far as in the playoffs.
But their problem was never offense; it was defense.
Right, but still, either McCarthy's calling the plays or was calling the plays, or Aaron Rodgers is calling the plays, and I think that's where A-Rod's attitude or whatever I don't
think he's going to get along with anyone.
Well, then that's going to be a lingering problem for the team.
Yeah, obviously they need help defensively.
Yeah, the secondary did pretty well this year, but
their defensive line and their linebacking core is not.
Yeah, it's not
good, not Super Bowl material.
No. So I can't believe we're not going to give a prediction.
No, let's wait till next week. Closer to.
Well, then what else are we going to talk about?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, jeez, here we go.
You want to talk NBA?
No.
It's Martin Luther King Day. I feel like we should talk about the NBA on Martin Luther King Day.
I really didn't come prepared.
Don't you watch basketball? That's preparation enough, bro.
Yeah.
Look, you're right. There's really not that much to talk about because the Lakers are going to win the NBA championship.
Are they?
That's just the way it is, yeah.
If
they can stay healthy, Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Davis and LeBron, I told you in the NBA preview.
Quite the dynamic duo.
That's going to be better than Shaq and Kobe, man. If he stays there, he's got to stay there.
That's true.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, they're gelling better than I thought they would right away. I mean, it's almost been instantaneous.
Yeah, I mean, they just don't have nobody to really defend Anthony Davis. There's no center that can hold. I mean, there's nobody that can hold him. The guy runs the floor. He does it all.
Yeah, he's really good. He's really, really good.
It's tough.
I think the West is going to be a lot easier than most years. The East is a mess in that I can't figure anything out in the East.
Yeah, they're all. It's the separation between 1 and 5 and 6 is not much.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I don't even know what the standings are.
You got the Sixers who are like in the 6th seed right now, but they're not. If they go on a run, they could easily.
But they're a 6th seed, but at home they're a 1 seed. I mean, they are unstoppable at home. The Heat at home.
The Heat, right? Yeah.
Wow. And the Celtics, you got one game's great, one game's not. The East, to me, is more entertaining because I really don't know what's going to happen there. It just seems like, all the teams have their spikes up and down, and it's hard to figure out. Whereas in the West, I think there's a very clear separation, right, of the top 3 or 4 teams and the rest of the league. You know what's interesting? The Golden State Warriors are going to be in the lottery. Can you imagine? I don't know who the top college guy is this year. I don't think there is a Zion.
He might not be in college.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think there's a Zion Williamson out there this year. I mean, Zion was very clearly the number 1 pick last year. But can you imagine if they get the number 1 pick and then Curry comes back and Klay Thompson comes back and you've got Draymond Green? They could have like a new big 4.
They can trade that number 1 pick.
For who?
Karl Anthony Towns? That'd be pretty nice.
Yeah, that would.
And keep D'Angelo Russell?
Ooh. Now you're talking.
I mean... Yeah, they could.
It's funny. Like Golden State could have like one disastrous year,
Right.
but have it be in the middle of an expanded run.
Yeah.
Like they could have, if they trade for the right piece or if they draft the right piece, they could have another 4, 5, 6 year run. And so now you've got this 10, 11 year run with this one, 9-73 season.
Yeah, I mean that'd be.
Wouldn't that be something?
That's kind of unheard of, right?
It's crazy.
They had a down year during like a dynasty. Because what if they do win like 3 championships, right?
Right.
Coming off of this.
Well, you would think of it as a dynasty, right? Because it's like it would 2 or 3 of the main characters would be the same, right? In Curry, Thompson, and
Green.
And then you would have the KD section of the dynasty, and then the Karl Anthony Towns or whoever the new guy is part of the dynasty. But yeah, it'd be you've got the main core guys there throughout the whole thing. It'd be one dynasty.
I've had a friend text me about this, and then I seen an article, and God, I hope it doesn't happen. He texted me about the Greek Freak going to the Warriors.
Oh my God, that'd be awesome.
And I'm like, whatever, bro. That shit ain't happening. And then I see the article, and I'm like, is this guy going to get dogged like KD if he goes there?
Oh my God, it's not written in crayon. It must be real.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Oh, I think he will. I think anyone that goes there will get the heat that...
You think so?
Yes. Oh my God. Because the media... Well, I'm not going to say the media, but I think people do not like that go to an established place and... Like, LeBron took some hate for going to Dwayne Wade's team, so to speak. He took some, and that wasn't that bad because he kind of, they brought another piece in, so it was like 3 pieces met at one place, and it was just a matter of where. But KD went to an established team, a team that was already winning championships. Yeah. I think if the Greek Freak does it, they'll say the same thing. Yeah. I think he'll get the same kind of heat. But but to be fair, he doesn't do much with the media, so I think it'll probably die down quicker. That's part of what did KD in, is that KD kind of fed it with the burner accounts and all that other stuff.
I wish he would just stay with the Bucks. I mean, I'm sure he can get some players to go play with him if he told upper management, hey, go get me some players.
Would you go play in Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Have you ever been in Milwaukee?
I don't care. I'm there to play basketball. I don't care about...
Well, you gotta live there.
That's
fine. I mean, you don't gotta, but you gotta live there.
Well,
half the year you're gonna be living there.
That's fine. I can suck it up. I mean, how much you gonna pay me? Hopefully more than what I'm getting paid now.
Yeah, but that's the
cures
thing.
Everything.
Oh, hold on, but you're gonna get paid that much to go play in Miami too, or New York, or LA, or Chicago, or Houston.
I got a chance to play with the MVP though.
Right, but you could get the MVP to go someplace else. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the problem that some of those franchises have.
Yeah.
Is it's no one wants to go. No one wants to play in Sacramento or Memphis.
Then maybe they just need to consolidate the league.
Oh, I mean, that's always been a problem for the smaller market teams,
Yeah.
Especially where the players have so much power because it only takes one superstar to really turn a franchise around.
I don't know. I guess if I'm Giannis and I'm this fucking good and I'm the MVP and I'm unstoppable, I mean,
you don't want to move.
No, I wouldn't want to move out. I would want to build something around me. Like, you come to me. I don't want to have to go. They're competitive already as it is.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Although it is the East, I understand that, but they're competitive, right? Like, I think they have a clear shot.
Well, they're more than competitive
of making the finals this year, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, they have
absolutely.
They have even a better shot than they had last year.
I would agree with that. Yes.
Yeah. So, that's just me.
Interesting.
So,
what else you got? I'm short on energy today.
Well, let's wrap it up. You had a run. You had a run yesterday.
I sure did.
That's why you're dying. You ran 26.2 miles.
Yeah, I ran the Houston Marathon yesterday, and I am exhausted.
I mean, I have one full court game of basketball, and I'm ready to call it quits for forever.
I just don't. It's crazy. Like, the next day, and it doesn't happen all the time, but I pushed it yesterday. And, man, I've been dragging all day today. because you're sore, so you don't sleep well either, and you don't sleep well the night before because you're anxious for the race, and so it's 2 days of not sleeping well, and body's dinged up. And
does it hurt to squat and take a shit?
Yes,
because I've been sore before on my legs.
Yeah, to sit down, yeah, and
that
it's not.
Sucks,
it's not
you
like
really gotta go.
It's not like a couch, right? If your legs are sore and you're sitting on the couch, you get to a certain point, you just let yourself drop. Right. You can't do that on the commode because
it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt, and what if you're not centered quite right? You could fall off.
Oh, that would be a shitty situation.
Literally. It would literally be a shitty situation. So no, you gotta be careful. Yeah, it's tough today. I'm moving slow.
Yeah.
Real slow.
Well, shit. Props to you for finishing. I remember. I had to download the app, the Chevron Marathon app on my phone to track you. And by the time I
figured it out.
Yeah, by the time I figured it out and tracked you, were already done. It was like you had finished 10 minutes earlier. So I was like, well, at least he finished.
Well, I know he finished.
That's right.
Yeah. So it was a great day. It was
good deal.
It was nice and cool, which is good for running. The wind in your face the last 7 miles was rough, but it's another day, another dollar, man.
That's it.
Hey, did you happen to catch the UFC fights this weekend?
All 40 seconds?
All 40 seconds. Did you watch all 40 seconds of the fight?
I didn't. Well, yeah, on highlights. I mean, right? Because
they showed you the whole fight.
I mean, a video on Instagram is about a minute.
Yeah.
So that fit the criteria.
So you got the introduction and a little bit of the celebration afterwards.
All of it. Yeah. I mean, no, I didn't go out and watch him. But did you go out and watch him?
I sure did.
Oh man, we need to investigate this. Let's see. You went out the night before. I'm assuming you had some drinks.
No, I did not.
That's what they all say, Ed. That's what they all say, Ed.
I did not. I mean,
you're going Rafael Palmeiro here.
I did not have beer or any other type of mixed alcohol.
You can't even keep a straight face.
It's the truth, though.
You sure it is?
I swear, I was Scout's honor, even though I wasn't a Scout. I stuck to water.
So you stayed up late.
It wasn't that late.
Drank pints of water. And then you're sore the next day.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not easy to put. It's very easy to put two and two together.
Yeah.
You stayed late and you party, bro. You probably went to.
I probably should have gone out, but it was rather tame. I went to BW3 instead of going to a bar.
Okay.
Because I knew there'd be less chance of me, whooping it up and having a good time or hanging out afterwards.
Good choice.
I mean, back in the day, I used to go out to watch the fights, and I used to go to a bar, a little smoky bar down the road from where I used to live. And, I mean, when the fights were over, the party was just starting.
Yeah.
And every time the fights ended, they played that song by Lil Jon, Shots. And, man, there were shots flowing. Damn. So, yeah, I did not go to a place like that because I thought that would be a bad idea.
Yes.
Probably.
That wouldn't have helped.
Probably. On the marathon course, there were 2 sections with people handing out beer.
Really?
Yeah.
Like during the race?
Yeah.
Like for the runners?
Yeah, mile 24 was the one I remember. But it's just this group, and they're out there every year. It's this group of people. They're partying their ass off.
Tailgating at a marathon.
Yeah, and during the race, and they're like, "You guys want beer? You can have some."
I'm surprised that's allowed.
I mean, I'm sure that it would probably be against the rules for those that are trying to win.
Right.
But for the rest of us in the back of the pack, the middle of the pack, the party bus.
Right.
Nah, whatever. Have whatever you want.
Well, that's pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, no. Hey. There have been times where I've had a bad day and I'm like, yeah, I'll take a shot of beer. What the fuck? It's not going to hurt anything.
Got nothing to lose at this point.
I got nothing to lose, man. I'm having a shitty day anyway.
Yeah.
So, you got a shout out?
Shit, I did. Oh, fuck. I had a shout out.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah, no. It's not. No. I'm not impressed with 40 seconds. You got to grind out a foul.
You're not impressed by a... I mean...
He beat a 36-year-old.
I mean, you really don't learn much about him in 40 seconds, but it's still impressive that he got it done in 40 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it was against a 36-year-old. I mean,
yeah, no, it was a good matchup for him. It was a favorable matchup.
Yeah. I can't think of my shout out. If you have one, go ahead. I can't.
Yeah, I will.
I can't think of mine.
You're never gonna think of it.
I can't remember. I promise I had a shout out. Whoever that shout out was for, shout out to you.
Yeah. My shout out goes to Peter Bromka. Peter Bromka was trying to qualify for the Olympic trials. He needed to run 2 hours and 19 minutes. He ran the California International Marathon in December, and he missed it by 2 seconds. And that guy was, that was his plan, was to do it at the California International Marathon, and he didn't do it. And instead of going home and crying in his beer, he packed up his stuff and he said, I'm going to go down to Houston and give it one more shot. And this was the last weekend you could qualify for the Olympic trials. And he came down to Houston, and again, he put in a magnificent effort trying to break 2:19. He ran 2:19.19.
Damn.
He missed it by 19 seconds. And while that sounds like a failure to most people, if you follow Peter Bromka on Twitter or on Instagram, you'll find that his outlook on this whole thing is pretty incredible. He had a post this morning talking about how much he's put in these last 2 years to try to make it to the Olympic trials, to qualify for the Olympic trials marathon, and how empty he feels today that it's over. Not because he's not going to the Olympic trials, but because his journey is over, so to speak. His challenge in front of him that he's had for the last 2 years is over. And he looks back on these 2 years and all the work and effort that he's put in and how close he's come, the failures, the heartache, and his description of it, it's a beautiful thing, and I will miss it dearly. And for that, my friend, shout out to you, because those posts and those performances, the clock didn't lie and you failed. But those performances and the way you handled them has been an inspiration to everybody else, myself included. And for that, my hat's off to you. Shout out to Peter Bromka.
Peter Bromka.
It just goes to show that sometimes, even when you fail, it's the journey that matters.
Right.
And that guy is living a good journey.
Yeah.
So, hats off to him. I'm excited to see what he does next. But, I was pulling for him. Obviously I didn't see him because he was an hour and a half ahead of me, but almost exactly an hour and a half. But I was pulling for him, and I felt really bad for him when I saw that he didn't make it. But still, just a great effort. For those of you in Twitter land or Instagram land, you want to get some inspiration, look up Peter Bromka. That's a cool name too. Bromka.
It is.
Right? Like, it sounds like someone who's strong.
Bromka.
Did it come back to you?
No.
Okay.
So, no shout out.
That's okay. It doesn't have to be a shout out every week or any week.
Yeah. Most weeks.
If you want to reach the show, you can email us at positivesports10@gmail.com. Positivesports10@gmail.com. If you want to get a hold of this guy, Alex, how do you do that?
On Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho 1.
Excellent. And if you want to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me on Twitter as well at eMontana21. Check out my snazzy medal from yesterday. It's got a big star. I guess that's what they do when you have marathons in Texas. But anyway.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I love it. It's nice. Well, thank you for listening to our show, watching our show, YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, whatever platform you choose to consume podcasts. We appreciate your support. As always, ignore the negativity. Be the positivity.
Peace.